Hey kids, welcome to Lesson 14, Building an App Image Scroller, Refactoring Code. On the last level, we copied a few lines of code to a different part of our program. Hopefully, warning bells went off in your head. Anytime you are copying portions of code from one area of your program to another, it is a good indication that you should write a function to capture that behavior in one place. When you add new features to your code, you will often create redundancies. I know I do that all the time. To keep your code readable and consistent, you may need to rewrite old pieces of code. This process of restructuring existing code without changing its external behavior is called refactoring. It is an important process when developing software that improves code readability and reduces complexity. As a result, code is much easier to maintain. We have a do this. We're going to create a function called doUpArrow. Move the code from the UpArrow event handler to the function. Call doUpArrow from both your button and key event handlers. The animation below shows the step involved. Repeat the same process for the down arrow and the down button by creating a function called doDownArrow. Once you have removed these redundancies from your code, test your app to make sure it still works. We have an example here. Looks like we are dragging in a new function. It's called doUpArrow, and we are taking everything from UpImage to doUpArrow. Then we are just calling doUpArrow. That doesn't sound too bad. I think the point of this lesson is, since we are using the same play sound for the up arrow and the up image, we should just call it once. Same thing with the down arrow, down image. Taking a look at our code, this is the code we wrote in the last lesson. And the first thing we're going to need to do on this lesson is to create a function. So I'm going to drag a function in here. And this function is going to be called doUpArrow. So I'm just going to rename this doUpArrow. What is going to go in doUpArrow? Well, if I look to my up image, I want my play sound, I want my count, I want my set text, and I want my console.log statement up. Let's just copy this here, come down to our function, and paste this in. I'm going to comment this out. This is going to be my up function. It's saying right here, hey, you defined it, but you didn't declare it. And this is for the up arrow. I think what I can do is take away all this code here, even the console.log statement, and I can just call my function. I should be able to put doUpArrow and my semicolon, and now when I press the up image, the same thing should happen. Let's test this out before we move forward. Let's hit run, click on the up, and we get it. Let's just test this out real quick and go to our function up, and I'm just going to put function after it just so we know. That means when I hit the up, I should get an up function on it. Run, up function. When I press the arrow key, I should still get keyboard arrow though. That means it looks like our code is working the way it should. Let's rinse and repeat now. I have my doUpArrow. I need to do the same thing now to the doDownArrow. So this is up function, and now I'm going to put down function. Same thing here. I'm going to drag a function in here. This is going to be called doDownArrow. We're going to go find our down image here. We're going to copy it, delete it, leave a couple spaces so we know where we're at, and then paste our code into our new function. As before, it's saying, hey, you defined but you didn't declare. We have to go back up here, and now we have to write do down arrow call. This now will call the down arrow. Again, when I go down here as the other one for the down function, we're going to go down here to our down function. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put just down function here so we can test that it's actually working. Reset, run here, down, our down function. Our function seems to be working exactly as we should. We are not done yet though. We still have all this redundant code down here in our key press. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete, same thing here. This is the up key. So on ours, it was called do up arrow. So I'm going to call my do up arrow. And that's going to call that function there. And the same thing for my down function. We're going to put do down arrow. And on this one, parentheses and semicolon. Now, no matter when I press the up or down image or the up or down on my keyboard, I should get my new console.log statement that says up function or down function depending on what I hit. Let's try this out. Reset, run, up, down seems to work. Let's try the keys. Up and down function 2. Looks like my code is working the way it should. None of the other keys work, and it only adds to the score, detract or subtracts from the score when the up or down image is clicked. That wasn't too bad. Looking back up here to our do this, we created a function do up arrow. We moved the code from the up arrow event handler to the new function, and then we called do up arrow. We rinsed and repeat for the down arrow, and not only the down arrow, but the keyboard up and down as well. We removed a lot of code here. If you take a look at it, a lot cleaner. The only place you see any of the play sounds is in the up or down function. Other than that, everything is very neat and organized, just the way I like, kids. I think this is all code.org wanted from us. Let's see if they want anything else. Nope. Good job, kids. I'll see you on the next lesson.